This is kind of the story of America, though, going in and saving these small businesses. And this is just really just insight into one industry of it. This is something that you're very passionate about. I was reading this study where it showed, particularly where it concerns restaurants, bars and restaurants, they're expecting the remaining bars to dwindle from, I think, what was it, over almost 72,000 to 63,000, falling under 63,000. That's a significant drop.
It is. You know, how about this number? 600,000 small businesses open in America every year and 720,000 close. That's a horrifying number. And I speak to that in speeches that I do, you know, in support of small business. We have a small business crisis in America. And with every one of those businesses that close, we bleed to death a little more.
Right.
And you know, about 10 years ago, roughly 60% of small businesses in America were owned by families. Today, 42% of small businesses are owned by families. So when we lose these small businesses, we're losing family security, family opportunity. I take that really personally, I do, and I'm really fighting to turn that around.
And you see how it affects not even just those families, but in the communities as well, because small businesses, that's what's driving job creation. And in fact, I think that's why our numbers aren't even lower than what we know them to truly be, is the impact that these, these bars, these restaurants, these aren't places that, provide college kids or, young parents or families a livelihood. But this is also, these establishments you see time and time again on your program, this is where the community connects as well.
Yeah. You know, I like to remind people that the second public building ever built in America was a bar. The first was a church. They were called public houses then. There were no city halls. There were no courtrooms. All of the corporations, the marriages, the state borders, the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, they were all discussed in public houses and bars. Bars are the fiber of America, and they're a key part of every community. And I agree with you. When these bars close, communities are impacted by it.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, the King Street Patriots, aka the Sons of Liberty, they planned the Boston Tea Party at the pub there in Boston. I mean, that went all around some beer. That's how they planned all of that. But you're right, it is. It's a backbone of the country. You even created the Small Business Rescue Act. I was looking at it a little bit earlier. You've been traveling around the country. You speak to this, and you're even hoping to tell me a little bit about this act that you created, and then I'm going to follow it up and ask if you're ever going to run for office.
Oh, well, it all started, I'll tell you the quick story. I'm in Youngstown, Ohio. I'm shooting bar rescue, and I'm driving through the city with the mayor. And the downtown is completely gutted. There's no businesses. Median household income is about $22,000 a year, and there's about 8,000 residences vacant in Youngstown, Ohio. And if they don't get that 3 or 4 blocks in the downtown of their city to have a little energy and vibrancy, they're never going to turn around the way the city feels, nonetheless acts. So I was really upset by that, and I went and I wrote the Small Business Rescue Act. And basically, in a very short version, if a city has more than 3 blocks that are 65% vacant and 60% commercial property, that they would allow business owners who live within 50 miles of that location to open businesses in that recovery area and pay no federal or state taxes for 3 years.
That's great.
So in essence, the concept would be, and it's like an enterprise zone, but if you got a 3-year window, let's hurry up and do it now. So businesses, rather than being scattered, would open next door to each other within a 3-block area, creating a bit of a concentrated energy, which would turn the feeling of a community around.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited about it, and I'm hoping that some of our candidates will consider it. Because if we don't fix small business, we're not going to fix our economy.